What's going on YouTube? My name is Trevor and this is Triggered Ballistics. This channel we talk about guns, gear, gadgets, we review them, we do live fire shooting, all that good stuff. So if that's something you guys are interested, please hit that like button and subscribe below. I appreciate the support and love y'all. Today's video I'm going to talk about Glocks versus Caniks, in my opinion. I'm not an expert on either firearms, I do own both. And I want to talk about the reasons why I went from Canik to Glock. So let's talk about it. Let's go. First, I want to talk about my Canik TP9 SF Elite. That is this right here. They are clear. Clear. So this is a cleared firearm. So this is my Canik TP9 SF Elite. This is a fantastic firearm. It's a full size. I guess compact, but basically a full size. It's a 15. I also have 17 round mags as well. I have a TLR1 mounted on the front, and it is a fantastic firearm. I used to carry this firearm as my everyday carry, and I love it. The trigger squeeze is nice and easy. If you guys want to take a peek and listen, I mean, it is just so crisp and clean. The biggest problem I have with this gun, it's a niche gun so far. I have huge expectations here in the upcoming years that that all the major firearm aftermarket people will realize that the Canik is an awesome weapon system and start developing aftermarket parts and support for the Canik. As of right now, there's not a whole lot of aftermarket support. Finding holsters that fit this, especially with a TLR1 or a TLR7, are few and far between. Parts, you have to order parts directly through Canik. There are a ton of scam websites for Canik, which make owning this firearm a little tricky. But outside of that, the firearm is fantastic. We'll get into the specs on this firearm in a minute, but I want to show you guys my Glock 19. So this is my Glock 19. This is the Glock 19 MOS Gen 5. This firearm is clear. So this is a Glock 19 MOS Gen 5. I do have a Vortex Venom red dot mounted on the top with a TLR7A mounted on the front. This is completely stock other than the light and the red dot. Everything about this is completely stock. Nothing is upgraded. The trigger is not upgraded. It's completely stock other than those two additional add-ons. But the trigger on this isn't as nice as the Glock, but I guess they upgraded the triggers on the Gen 5. I mean, there you have your, here, let me see if I can show you guys a little bit better. So here's your wall, quite a bit of drag, and then a crisp break, and then the trigger locks back. So we'll show that again. So it's not as nice as the Canik. It shoots very well, just like the Canik. It shoots very well. But the reason why I switched over to Glock versus Canik is parts are out there. I like when I'm talking with friends or people I'm talking to about guns, I call Glocks the Honda Accord or the Honda Civic of the gun world. And I don't mean that in a negative aspect. I actually mean that in a good aspect. Why it's good is because there's parts readily available for any Glock that you want. I mean, you can almost walk in the Walmart and buy parts for a Glock. Everyone carries stuff for Glocks, and everyone has a Glock. There's millions of, there's a reason why they're the best-selling firearm on the market. But there's just millions and millions of parts out there. There's a couple hundred manufacturers that carry parts for Glocks. Heck, you can go on Amazon and you can type in holster for Glock 19 with a TLR7, and like 7 different options pop up on Amazon. You can get them shipped next day and have them on your doorstep within 2 days. You just don't have that support with the Canik. And I do plan on getting it stippled or stippled, however you pronounce it. I think it's stipple. So I do plan on getting the stippled. The grip on it isn't amazing. It's not bad. It's not the best. But I've kind of grown to get accustomed to it. I did add the medium back strap with the beaver tail just to kind of eliminate slide bite, and then I added the Vortex Venom. When I was looking for a firearm, I wanted something that was optics ready. I wanted to get into red dots. Eventually I'm going to get a Trijicon RMR for this, but I didn't know if I was going to like red dots, so I wanted to get something that was a little bit more affordable, just in case, you know, I didn't drop $500 on an optic that I didn't like. I got this on Palmetto State Armory. They were running a fantastic deal. This sight was $179. It was during one of their, I think it was the Valentine's Day sale or something like that. It was $179, and I do believe that this is a $260 optic. And then another reason why I went with Vortex Venom over, you know, Holosun. And I do want a Holosun. I really like the fact that they have the solar panel on top of the 507C. But the reason why I went with this is their warranty is top notch. So let's talk about the differences between the Glock and the Canik. On my end, like I said, I'm not an expert in these firearms. This is just from a consumer owner's perspective about owning both of these firearms. So we'll start with the Canik. Like I said before, this is a fantastic firearm. It is such a smooth trigger squeeze. The trigger on this firearm is top notch. Another thing, it's ambidextrous. It has this huge slide release, the ambidextrous slide release. You do have to switch the mag release from one side to the other, but your slide takedowns are massive on both sides. I mean, it's just a fantastic firearm. I did add a threaded barrel on this, so I could run suppressor. But that's the only thing I've done to this firearm too, and I added a light. But that's one thing between these two firearms that is a huge difference, is cost point. So we'll kind of roll into cost point right now. So this Canik was, I think it was $379. I think I paid $379 for this, and this was $750 at my local gun store, and I'm sure you can find them cheaper. Like Palmetto State Armory had them for $680, but I wanted to support local, and plus I'm friends with the guys at the gun range. Yeah, it is a gun range. The gun range that I go to. They just so happen to sell firearms as well. So cost difference is significantly higher. I could buy two of these for the price of one almost. But it goes back into that you know, parts readily available and reliability. All right, so we're going to look at a size comparison between the Canik TP9 SF Elite. This is the bigger version of the Canik TP9 series. So you have the SC and the SF. The SF is the one with the larger slide. So we're going to do a size comparison between the TP9 SF Elite and the Glock 19 MOS, and they say that these are comparable in size. So the TP9, I just turned the flashlight on. The TP9 SF Elite is just a smidge longer. I'm going to try and show this to you. A smidge longer than the Glock. I'd say, you know, about a 1/4 inch. I don't have a tape measure with me, but I'd say about a 1/4 inch longer than the Glock right here. This is the Canik. So it's a little bit, the slide is a little bit longer, and the magwell, the mag, or the hand grip, is just a hair longer. I'm trying to show you the best I can. It's just a hair longer. I'd say, you know, also a 1/4 inch. So this is a slightly larger firearm than the Glock 19, just slightly larger. I found, so I'm not a very big guy. I'm 6 foot, 205 pounds, so I'm not a very big guy. But I found carrying this and concealing this is actually harder to do than concealing my Glock. One thing about the Canik that I really like is that it comes standard with fiber optic night sights on the front post. The rear does not have, I'm trying to show you, I can't, it won't focus, but the rear doesn't have those two dots. It's just that U pattern. I wasn't really a huge fan of it when I first got it, but I learned to shoot with it, and it turned out just fine, very accurate. The Glock, unfortunately you're not going to be able to see the front side post, but they're metal. The front post is not fiber optic. It is just your standard white dot, not night sights. But you can kind of see here how it is square shaped, and they have it outlined in white. It's very easy to see. A lot of people don't like the Glock sights, but I found that they work pretty well. So with the Gen 5, one thing they did change with the Gen 5 from the Gen 4 previous generations is they added slide serrations for doing press checks, or racking your slide. But they did add serrations on the front. I'm sure you can see that. They also added a slightly flared magwell. I don't know if you can tell with the camera, but they did add a slightly flared magwell, which makes loading mags. I don't know if I'm allowed to show you that. So loading mags into the firearm a little bit easier if you're in a stressful environment. You can slap one in, rack the slide. Or you rack a slide, you have a malfunction, you can do a press check. It's very easy to grab. But that's something they added in the 5th generation. This Canik, which is, I think they came out this Canik 6 years ago, I believe. You can correct me if I'm wrong, but this is the Canik TP9 SF Elite. So they already have front slide serrations. They have shooter cuts in it. I mean, they thought about this before Glock did, and I'm sure Glock says, this is incredible and all that stuff. But another thing that I don't know if I particularly like, but in the previous generations, they had the finger cutouts for holstering or for holding the firearm. They had the finger cutouts. They did away with that in the 5th gen. So I don't know if it's an improvement or not, but. Oops. I don't know if it's improvement or not. It shoots fine for me. But the Canik does not have the flared magwell. But you can buy flares for the magwell through Canik. But I guess that concludes the video for today. Go into the comments section. Type in what you prefer: Canik versus Glock, Glock versus Canik. Glock is top dog, Canik's top dog. Let's have a conversation in the comments below. And if I forgot something or misspoke, guys, tell me, because I can't make improvements if no one's gonna correct me. So you need to have your checks and balances, right? So if you guys like this video, you guys want to see more of this kind of content, hit that subscribe button, like the video, please. I am a growing YouTube channel. I'm very small. I think as of today I had like 70 subscribers. So for those 70 of you that have subscribed to me, I really appreciate y'all. I love y'all. But that concludes the video for today. My name is Trevor. This is Trigger Ballistics. Stay safe, y'all. Peace.